All right, welcome to Intro to PT. I hope everyone had a wonderful summer. We are so happy to have you here beginning our physical therapy program this semester. We're going to start class today by going over the core values in physical therapy practice. Has anyone ever heard of these before, or throughout your volunteer experiences, anything you read, core values of physical therapy? No? Okay, that's completely fine. These are values that the APTA adopted in order to clarify what it means to be a professional in the healthcare setting and to provide us with a way to increase our self-awareness. So I'm going to pass out these papers, and if you could just chronologically write 1 through 7 on those tasks there, or on those items there. Great. And we're just going to go around the circle and just take turns reading them out loud. Jen, would you mind reading the first one?
Accountability, acknowledging and accepting consequences of actions.
Do you mind going next, Mike?
Next one.
Mm-hmm.
Altruism, providing patient care services that go beyond expected standards of practice.
Great. Beth?
Compassion, caring, empowering patients to achieve the highest level of function.
Thanks. Mark?
Excellence, conveying intellectual humility in personal and professional situations.
Great. I'll read the next one. Integrity, choosing employment situations that are congruent with practice values and professional ethics. Jen, do you want to continue?
Sure. Professional duty, mentoring others to realize their potential, taking pride in one's profession.
And Mike, do you want to finish it off?
Social responsibility, promoting community volunteerism.
Great, thank you. Okay, so now what I'm going to have you do is rank your top 3 values. So just number 1, number 2, number 3. Which values are most important to you? So please remember there are no right and wrong answers. Everyone is going to have different responses, or everyone is most likely to have different responses, and that's completely fine. So the students are now working in what we call a Socratic circle. This facilitates an active learning environment. It allows students to express themselves and know that their opinions and insights matter. They're able to be active in their learning environment, and it allows students to speak more if they feel comfortable speaking or less if they're not quite so comfortable. It teaches core values in a way that allows them to participate in their learning experience and not just sit and listen to me talk. I stress that there are no right and wrong responses, which creates an atmosphere that does not foster judgment. Okay, hopefully that gave everyone enough time. Can I have a volunteer to share the value that you ranked as number 1 and why? Beth, thanks.
I picked compassion and caring.
Sure. Would you like to share your thoughts on that?
It seems that would be number 1 in the healthcare environment. That would be the most important thing to convey to a patient.
Excellent. That's perfect. Thank you. Anyone else like to share?
I picked accountability because I feel like everybody makes mistakes, but it's important to be able to admit when you've made a mistake and accept the consequences.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jen. Mike, Mark, do you guys have anything to share?
I also chose accountability.
Okay. Do you guys want to share your reasons for that, or do you have anything to say about Jen's comments on accountability?
I mean, I agree with Jen. If you make a mistake, you should be able to own up to that mistake.
Okay. Awesome. And how about you, Mark? Anything else to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very important to have accountability of all of your actions in this profession.
Excellent. All right. Well, Well, thank you guys for sharing. And remember that, we don't always need to agree. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, but either way is completely fine. So now this might be a little bit more challenging. Why don't you go ahead and pick a value that you find the least important? So go ahead and take a minute to do that. So as you can see, the students are able to collaborate and interact while feeling supported in their opinions. They're in a laid-back and comfortable environment to set the tone for the conversation. For the purposes of filming and time constraints, we're working with a small group, but this could work just as well with a larger group. Would anyone like to share the value that they found least important and why?
I will. I chose integrity, and I guess I chose it mostly because of the definition, choosing employment situations that are congruent with practice values and professional ethics. I mean, I'll just be happy to get a job when I'm done. So
Okay.
I don't know how much I'll be choosing my employment situation. They would be choosing me.
Okay.
So I guess I guess I look at integrity as being something different.
Okay. That is great to think about. Thank you, Jen. Anyone else?
I chose professional duty.
Okay. And what made you make that choice, Mark? Or what led you to that choice?
It was just the least. Taking pride is probably the least important thing of all this whole list.
Okay. That's great. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
I picked social responsibility. I just sort of feel like if that's what I choose to do as an individual, it doesn't necessarily need to apply to my profession. Like that's just between me and my own free time.
Okay. That's great. Thank you, Beth.
And I also chose social responsibility as well.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to, volunteer for, different, events or whatever, maybe in the community, then, that's up to you.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
We agree.
And so, looking at these core values and considering these core values, do you find that they appear to be something that would be easy to achieve in your own lives? Do you feel like they represent things that you may find challenging?
I think they'd be easy. I mean, I think a lot of these, if you go into a healthcare field, you probably already want to achieve a lot of these things, or already have a sense of these in your life, and I think they line up pretty well with what we're trying to do with our profession.
Okay. Anyone else? Great.
I think all these things you'd have to make an effort to recommit every so often because you could get lackadaisical in your profession.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mark. Okay. Well, thank you guys all so much for your participation. You all have excellent insight. We are going to continue this discussion throughout the semester, throughout your time in the program, and we're going to be digging a little bit deeper each time into these issues. So I encourage you to keep thinking about these values and where you find the strengths and challenges in all aspects of your life. I'm going to post a discussion board on our Canvas page this week about how these values apply specifically to how we present ourselves in the clinic, okay? And that will be something you guys think about the more clinical experience you gain. As professionals, it is important that we honor these values in both our personal and our professional environments. So please start thinking ahead on this as we continue to move on throughout our course. Any questions? All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds good.
bye.